Hello and welcome to Tiny Table Talk for The Challenge, Season 36, Double Agents, Episode 11. And in this video, we have a full slate looking into how this season of The Challenge has tied challenge history so far. We're also going to look into all the conspiracy theories that could be the security breach. We're going to get into Lolo's tweets and some of the comments from my Thursday's review and recap. So without further ado, on this season of The Challenge, Season 36 Double Agents, we have had 5 competitors leave outside of going into an elimination. And that ties the record of the most people leaving a single season outside of going into an elimination. And the 5 people that left Vendettas, Season 31, the 5 people that left Vendettas was Eddie, Sylvia, Kaylee, Veronica, and Nicole. And in Dirty 30, the 5 people that left were Ashley in Episode 1, Simone and Shane, Ammo, and Nelson. Other seasons that came close but no cigar was Rivals 3, 4 pairs, so technically 8 people left, but there was 4 pairs that left that season. Leroy and Avery left on a medical DQ. Brandon quit and Brianna had to go with him as there was no replacement partners. We had Simone and Thomas because Thomas had a family emergency. They both had to leave. And then Tony and Camilla were being toxic. Then in Cutthroat, Season 20, Siobhan left, Chet, Abram, and Sarah. Abram and Sarah were DQ'd, medically DQ'd in the finals. I don't count Ty and Paula because they were DQ'd within the eliminations. The Ruins had 4 people leave, which was Siobhan, Tanya, Brad, and Darrell. And finally, Battle of the Sexes, Season 6, we had 4 people leave outside of the eliminations or vote-offs, and that was David, Puck, Emily, and Jake. So I'm saying right now it is tied a record for the most people leaving outside of the elimination. Thinking of how we had the security breach in the sneak peek for this episode, to have it as the cliffhanger in this episode for our next episode, it's double the frustrating. And so now we're left here sitting, waiting, wondering what could be the security breach. So let's just throw every idea out at the wall so at some point I can come back to this video and say that I was right at some point, right? That's how it works, right? That's how it works. Anyways, let's take a look at the first possibility, and that is bring back a previously eliminated woman. And most likely, if they did this scenario, it would be Amber M, as I feel as though that everyone else who was eliminated up to this point has already left Iceland, has left the quarantine area, and is being sent home. So Amber M, who was just eliminated in the previous episode, would be coming back in to be Nam's partner and would even everything out. I think a lot of people would feel lackluster if this were the case, and I don't know if they were really like super apt on bringing Amber M back so quickly after being eliminated the previous episode, but it could be the possibility. The next conspiracy theory is mercenaries, which I don't see happening unless it's people that were already on this season coming in because of the sole fact that there are COVID protocols. They are doing this within the pandemic, so there would have to be a quarantine period of, I would think, a couple of weeks. I just don't see that being the case. I think it would be cool, but also it doesn't work with the skull twist. Like, how would somebody win a gold skull, especially if it's going to be a men's elimination? Like, how would they win a gold skull against somebody who isn't even in the game? And if the mercenary wins, they just leave the game. The skull twist is messy when it comes to mercenaries. It just doesn't make any sense. It's not conducive to it, and that's another reason why I'm not super huge fan of the skull twist at this moment. Now, the next conspiracy theory, and I think a lot of people are thinking this could be the case, and I'm kind of hoping it's the case. It's a double men's elimination. So right now we have 2 rogue agents in Nam and Corey. We have CT as the double agent wanting to go down and get his skull, and we have Devin as the compromised agent that's supposed to be going into this elimination. To even out the playing field, we would need to have a double men's elimination. And what I'm thinking, and when taking a look at the votes, we have Devin and Gabby getting 8 total votes. And the people that voted for them was Josh, Nani, Casey, Corey, Fessy, Anissa, Amber, and Darrell. Josh and Nani were the second most votes, with Devin, Gabby, Kyle, Nam, and Lolo. And Nam and Lolo got 2 votes, and that was Cam and Leroy. I could see a possibility where Josh would also be thrown into the elimination to go down there because he got the second most votes. I guess I'm trying to think about how this would all make sense and how all of this would be fair, and I'm trying to think, is there a possibility that Devin got the most votes, so he's the compromised agent, Josh got the second most votes, so he's definitely going down into the elimination as well, and does Nam and Lolo, because they got the third most votes / they're the only other people to get votes, Nam is gonna have to go down there to the elimination as well, and then CT would have his choice on who he would want to go up against because he was the double agent, so he gets to pick out of the 3 competitors down on the crater floor on who he would want to go up against, which he sounds like he wants to go up against Josh, which then would leave Nam and Devin to go up against each other. And then say CT and Nam win, and so Devin and Josh leave. Their gold skulls now go to Nam and CT, and so then there's technically 6 players with no partners, with CT, Nam, then you have Corey, who is the rogue agent, and then the women competitors who are left are Nani, Big T, and Gabby. I don't know, I'm trying to think of all the logistics. The last conspiracy theory I have for this security breach is Nam being medically DQ'd. And if Nam is medically DQ'd because of his back pains, he is taken out, well then that leaves just Corey as the one rogue agent left, and then CT is going to be going down to get his skull against Devin, who's the compromised agent, and we can go like it's normal. Which I really hope that this is not the case. They've been pushing this Nam back spasm, back pain storyline for the last 2 episodes, but can I just say we have no proof outside of his confessionals that his back is hurting him. He seems to be walking around the house fine. He's not icing his back. If he's being medically DQ'd, I want to see shots of him going to the medic. I need to see him with ice on his back. He can't walk around the house. He seems perfectly fine outside of his confessionals saying that his back hurts. So I really hope that doesn't happen, but that's just where my head is going around with all these conspiracy theories. So I guess we'll have to wait and see what is going to happen. But now let's go into... On this week's episode of The Challenge, we saw Lolo Jones packing up her bags and telling everyone as she was leaving that she was wanting to go home and focus more on training for the Olympics. And so she left the game. And then on Thursday, she took to Twitter, and I have the Twitter thread, and I want to read all of the tweets in this Twitter thread, and then we can go and unpack them and talk about them. So the first tweet in this Twitter thread says, MTV The Challenge forced me to quit, and that is facts. I've never quit anything in my life. Heck, I'm one of the oldest Olympians because I don't quit. I was pulled aside before the show and told to make it look like I needed to leave. She goes on to say that the last challenge was also staged. CT and Big T technically did not win. There was a drop zone and they were not in the parameters. Once I realized the producers can change the rules to fit who they want to win, I was still willing to stay and fight. There are so many secrets that are not known to the viewers. I hope that people remember the challenge is not a real competition, it's a TV show. They do not show the full picture, but what is entertaining. So before you write hate messages, know you are judge and jury without full evidence. The final tweet in this Twitter thread says, the good news is, had I not left, I would not have made the USA bobsled team. I would have missed the team cutoff by 2 days. If I had not made the team, I would not be a world champion. So in the end, God directs our paths. God knows how hard I fought to stay after meetings with producers. So upon reading these tweets, my initial thought process is that she was getting hate messages, and that's why she took to Twitter to let her side be known. I mean, her editing arc and portrayal on the show wasn't flattering whatsoever, and then I'm sure she got a lot of flack for quitting, and the challenge and TJ has made it very clear throughout the run of the show that they don't like quitters, which I get it. I mean, they're making a show. They don't want people to just withdraw from the game. But honestly, on the other hand, if somebody's going to quit and they're not in the game or their headset isn't in the show, then why would we want them to just quote unquote stick it out. But this is also a very different scenario with Lolo Jones, as she states in the tweet, "I was pulled aside before the show and told to make it look like I needed to leave." I don't know the time frame. Was the show the season in general when she came onto the show? Or was it the show as in this episode heading into this daily challenge? Because in the aftermath, Nam states that heading into the daily challenge, it sounds like she only said something to him, and Nam says that Lolo mentioned to him that we need to win this daily challenge or I'm going to be sent home. I don't know if that is a translation because English is his second language and he meant to say sent home, but I feel like that is super interesting that he says I'm going to be sent home. I've heard that producers heard Lolo. I've heard cast members heard Lolo and went to producers. I've heard that there was an actual comments being made or that there were comments taken out of context via Casey and Josh, which I find interesting to hear because Casey was one of the competitors in the kitchen saying, "Hey, do you think Lolo would just leave?" I think that's an interesting comment made by Casey with all the allegations put out there that her and Josh were the ones that heard comments and then took them to producers. And then producers told Lolo that they wanted her to leave because of mental health reasonings. And so there's that floating around as well. Does that play into the MTV challenge force me to quit? Did they force her to quit because she was an Olympian athlete that nobody wanted to compete against and that she would rock this final too hard and so they wanted to push her out before she even got close to a final? Or was it because they heard comments and were looking out for her mental health? The next part I want to unpack in the tweet is the last challenge was staged. Now, if you are a longtime fan of the challenge or have binged the challenge seasons, you could probably pick out a few scenes that are questionable or you can put in your brain going like, did that really actually happen? I think one that really sticks out in my brain is Amanda and Josh in War of the Worlds 1. As they were eliminated, they came out and saying that producers told them that they could not go back to back while Ashley and Cam went back to back, and that's how they won that elimination. I mean, you think about the finals from Total Madness last season where everyone thought that it was a solo game that the top spot winner, whoever made it to the finish line first, would have gotten the whole $1 million, which was Jenny. And then it comes out that it's actually split and it's 500,000. There were reports that they actually talked to Jenny and they had to refilm the ending. I mean, there is a lot of speculation going on, and this is not new to the challenge. This goes back years and years. Another one is the finals and Final Reckoning. A lot of audience members were thinking, was that staged? Because they wanted that moment. They wanted the Bananas and Sarah Rivals 3 moment of somebody taking the whole money for themselves, and this is $1 million. And that plays into the third tweet where she says that a lot of secrets are not known to the viewers. Hope that you remember that it's a TV show. And that's another thing. This is a TV show, and at the baseline level, they are looking to make ratings. They're looking to make a good program to get the ratings and to make it feasible for either more money into the budget, to make bigger and more dangerous, more enticing eye candy worth of eliminations and daily challenges to get the funding, to get viewership up. I am at heart a skeptic. I question everything. I'm always looking at a lot of things side-eyed. I love the challenge, but it does have its flaws, and there's no denying that. And I think what pops into my brain is going from a straight race final where the first team to hit the flag wins, it turns into a cumulative final to where there's multiple stages and everyone is timed and all the times are kept off screen, and it's trying to make that edit seem more enticing, more exciting. Oh my goodness, who knows? This person finished this leg first, but this person finished this leg first, and oh, they crossed the finish line first, but it's really about how fast you did the whole thing and not just the one thing. And once they move to those types of finals, that's where it really is like, I get that you're trying to make it more of a mystery, but you took so much transparency away from the game that you legit can do whatever you want. This is a show first and foremost. This is to get viewership. This is to get more money for MTV. This is to get more viewership and eyes on the TV while also trying to be entertaining for us as the audience. Don't ever take anything at face value, especially when it is a reality TV show. Now, granted, I love the challenge. We all love the challenge, but I think you also have to remember that this is a TV show and they're looking for viewership. They're looking for dollars because of sponsorships and ads. All right, let's get to some of the comments from my Thursday's review and recap of the challenge, season 36, episode 11. And the first comment comes from Nerdy Alex 6, who says, "My cousin was so excited to see the twist in the crater. When they left it on a cliffhanger, he threw the cup to the wall, flipped the table, and yelled, 'I hate this show.' Well, I'm gonna see the security breach twist next week." I have to say that I think we all had the same reaction inside as your cousin did on the outside. I think I wanted to flip a table no matter what because, I mean, cliffhangers on 90-minute episodes makes no sense to me whatsoever. The next comment comes from Ramiro, who says, "Nani, I'm your sister, Josh. Josh, step siblings." I think Josh thought he was on a different show. My goodness, that was... I kind of want to put a poll out there to see who has the better game between I'm Shy Fessy and Step Siblings Josh. That was very, very, I don't like that at all. That was so cringy. I don't. The next comment comes from Morgan, who says, "Was it just me or was the episode really boring? It wasn't just you. There wasn't much that was exciting about it. I just kept waiting for the CT elimination because he has been my favorite since I started watching the challenge years and years ago, and then I didn't even get to it. A big disappointment for me this week, 100%. I mean, as we were inching along and I kept looking down at the clock on my TV stand, I was like, oh boy, this is not looking good. We're getting the secret deliberation at like 9:20, 9:16. Then we had the whole Lolo speech and leaving. There was like no way. I was like, there is no absolute way that we are getting to an elimination tonight. The next comment comes from a little boss who says, "I feel like the only reason Corey and Darrell voted Devin because they wanted the goof Josh for themselves to steal from." I have to agree. Also, we hear in the Aftermath show that Darrell is working very, very closely with Cam and Leroy, and Leroy stated in another Aftermath show, or in one of their Instagram lives, is that Darrell was his number 2 in the game. Besides Cam, Darrell was right underneath Cam, and that's exactly who Leroy, Cam, and Darrell were working with. They were the triangle, and then Corey was working very closely with Darrell and Leroy as well. So they are a very tight-knit group, and Darrell stated in the Aftermath show that he went to Cam and Leroy right before going into the voting, and they told him to vote Devin. The next comment comes from Colleen, who says, "From the tuna comment to the freak on a leash comment, you're killing it with the wit lately, and I'm here for it." I am so happy that I see comments getting my references. For some reason, corn got into my brain when I was getting ready to film, and I just was like, rope, dope, freak on a leash. Yeah, I'm totally down with it. The next one also is Rel, who states, "A clueless type of way. I really hope people get that reference because it made me do an actual spit take while drinking some OJ." Clueless is one of my favorite movies. I grew up watching it over and over again. And yeah, I'm so happy at least someone got that reference. The next comment comes from G-Man, who says, maybe the security breach is all of Corey's partners coming back to kick his butt. That is the comment of the week. That would be some sight to see in the challenge, but that is it for this tiny table talk. What did you think about this? Let me know that in the comment section below. What did you think about this episode? What did you think about this daily challenge? What did you think about everyone who is left outside of the elimination? Let me know that in the comment section below. What did you think about the Lolo tweets? And for the final time, I will ask, what do y'all think the security breach is? And if you think it is a double elimination, please let me know down in the comment section below how you would think the double elimination will work, because I feel like I made it way too complex. I overthought it, I feel, which I do with majority of everything. And I think I confused myself while trying to explain it. But what do you think about everything about this challenge season and about this episode? Let me know that in the comment section below. But thank you so much for watching. While you're down there, hit that like and subscribe button. I'll be back really, really soon with more Challenge 36 Double Agent content, more challenge content, more content in general. But until then, peace.